Hello friends, welcome inside to League Unlock. Eric and Mark with you guys, and one of the main players that seemingly wasn't going to find a spot on an NA roster in 2019 was Cody Sun, former All-Pro AD carry. But Mark, he's found a landing spot, but it's not in the LCS. Starting out on the Academy League, playing with Clutch Gaming. Not on 100 Thieves. We knew he wouldn't be able to stay there, but no LCS spot for Cody Sun, which is still insane to me.
It's a little bit crazy, and I mean, I understand that, yes, there are some options where obviously you wouldn't be picking up someone like Cody Sun, but I think given his track record in North America, what we had seen during his time with Immortals, with 100 Thieves, I think there's more than enough actual gameplay from Cody Sun to make the case for him to have a starting spot here in the LCS. And I think when you're talking about Cody Sun down in Academy, he definitely joins the likes of Dardoch, who we expect and have heard from will be down in the Academy, of players that you expect. These guys should be putting on a show down there, and I think that somebody will come to their senses sooner or later and pick them up for this year.
In terms of Clutch, I mean, they're starting Piglet, so I think there's a chance you're seeing Cody Sun maybe even before Dardoch gets into the Optic roster. So I really like the signing from Clutch, because there's a pretty darn good chance that he's coming in to replace Piglet.
I think it's a good amount of safety net here for Clutch Gaming, given that, hey, you obviously have that confidence with Piglet, it seems, moving forward, given that you had him with your Academy team last year. And again, some people were impressed by the Academy numbers and the job that he did against the Academy ADCs. And I think if you're really looking at Piglet and you're really expecting him to do better this year, you have to be hoping for more than what you saw from him last year. And I think heading into this year, you should have some concerns if you're Clutch Gaming. If you're trying to do something, trying to make these playoff spots, and picking up the likes of Cody Sun gives you that insurance policy.
I've got to think that Clutch, just because Piglet and Vulcan played together all last split, that's why they're deciding to start out with them, just because of that synergy and comfortability. But I expect Cody Sun to be starting at least some games, and maybe even in summer, teams are gonna see, oh yeah, he's actually a really good AD carry, and I'm expecting him to find a consistent starting spot for the summer split. KT Rolster, they also found their AD carry. We've been waiting a long time for this, Mark, and they waited basically a few days before the Kespa Cup actually starts. We thought it was going to be Prey and Gorilla, basically the only side grade they could do from Deft and Mata, but that is not the case. They already brought in Snowflower, and now they're bringing in a young man who's coming from the LJL. He used to play he's been around for about 4 years now. Gango in that bottom lane, not exactly who people were expecting, and probably not going to bust down the barn door.
Well, people were not expecting KT Rolster to go full-on solo queue, snag the guy straight out of there. Gango, of course, did spend last year with the LJL, coming in second place there. Hey, quick shout out though, picked up the pentakill in his first game back to professional play in the LGL on the Ezreal there. The Ezreal and Draven are the two AD champions that he is mostly known for, and I think that here he will provide that aggressive type of firepower for KT Rolster in the bottom lane. But of course, coming from the likes of Deft and Mata, Gango and Snowflower seems like a downgrade for sure. Again, Prey and Gorilla could possibly, maybe Uzi and Mata could have only been the possible type of side grade upgrades you could have made there in that situation. But I think if you're KT Rolster and you have the strength of Smeb, Score, and BDD, Gango and Snowflower give you an explosive potential bot lane that if it works out, I think that this could be a strong roster.
There's no doubt that it's a downgrade, but the question is, how big a downgrade is it, and is it big enough to kind of take KT out of contention for that LCK title? Because someone like UCal, they brought up from seemingly nowhere, just solo queue, made his debut with KT. Gango has been around. He's been playing since 2015, playing on some LPL squads that were not good, unlimited potential. He went by a different name back then, and then it goes over to Japan. So he's been around for a long time, and he's a pretty popular streamer in Korea as well. So this is not the same as UCal by any means.
Right, and that's, I think, the hesitation that some KT Rolster fans have about this. You know, you haven't always heard so much about him. You don't always, of course, watch the LJL all the time. So you haven't really seen him too recently. And again, the difference between him and the likes of a UCal, he has had some professional experience time. So people start to question, well, if you've been a professional for this long, how come you haven't been successful before, or haven't really popped off, or haven't heard your name before? Give it some time. I'm pretty sure he's going to make you pretty proud on KT Rolster. But the other thing that KT picked up that I think is key is Umti as the sub jungler there.
Yeah.
Hey, he's not replacing old man Score. Don't
Not
do
yet.
that. Don't do
Next
that to
year.
me yet. But this could be a great learning year for him. And he is, again, that up-paced tempo type of jungler, aggressive. And I think learning from the likes of Score could be a fantastic pickup for KT Rolster.
And you might see him starting for the squad in 2020 maybe, after a Score has to do his mandatory military service out in Korea, but at least one more year of Score left. And even with this bottom lane not being in the upper echelon of LCK bot lane, still think KT will be a premier team because Smeb, Score, and BDD, that's 4 LCK MVPs amongst them, and that's the best top half of the map, probably in the entire league.
Hey, I know that this is not the top lane, but hey, Invictus Gaming picked up the Shy straight from streaming. No problems there. Let's see if Gango can do it for KT Rolster down the bottom lane.
No, not much hype to live up to there. Just perform at the same level as the Shy. But we'll see how KT performs in 2019. They're still going to be up there at the very top of the LCK.